We've just received word from the KOAB newsroom. There's been an accident involving an amusement ride. Details are sketchy, but reports are there are serious injuries. We have reporters on their way to the carnival where the incident occurred. This has been a news bulletin from the KOAB newsroom.
Your worst nightmare has come true. There has been a serious accident on one of your rides. People have been injured and the news media is on the way. It would be an excellent time to implement your media relations plan if only you had one. At the accident scene, reporters look for the first company employee they can find.
Action News here. Can you tell us what happened?
Something went wrong with the ride. I think one of the pins broke.
Had this ride been inspected today?
I think we did. Maybe. You know how busy things get.
Okay, thanks.
I told them to fix that damn pin this morning.
Oh, wait. Can you tell us what happened?
Yes. The whirling ride operated by our company suffered a minor mechanical problem today, and several of our valued patrons were injured, but they were all taken to the hospital and everything is fine. And I would like to point out that hundreds of other people have visited our other rides and have had a real good time.
But sir, we understand that a young child has serious head injuries and is in critical condition.
No. Well, no comment. No comment.
What would cause an accident like this?
Well, we really don't know. I mean, it could be mechanical malfunction, design defect, poor maintenance, or operator error. I mean, these rides are pretty complicated.
How many people were injured?
Well, I really don't know that. 3 or 4, but actually that's the good news. If there had been more people on the ride, this could have been a real tragedy. I'm talking disaster here.
So you inspect your rides every day, right?
Well, we try to, but can we kind of go off the record here a minute? I mean, look, we've had a few people not show up for work, and we do the best we can. And besides, just because a pin isn't inspected doesn't mean it's going to break. I mean, pins break for lots of reasons.
Why didn't you just shut down the ride if you knew there was a problem?
Well, this is one of our most popular rides, and we didn't want to disappoint our patrons.
Have you had this type of problem before?
No, not recently, but I remember back a few years, one of my competitors, he had a similar problem with a real close call on a similar ride.
A child has been seriously injured today after an accident involving this ride. Ride operators say they don't know if the ride had been properly inspected before being put into operation. So you inspect your rides every day, right?
Yes, well, we try to. Look, could we go off the record here for just a minute? Look, we've had a few people not show up for work, and we do the best we can. And besides, just because a pin isn't inspected doesn't mean it's going to break. I mean, pins break for lots of reasons.
And officials say it could have been much worse.
If there had been more people on the ride, this could have been a real tragedy. I'm talking disaster here.
And there you have it from the scene. There may be a cover-up here. And we will stay to bring you the latest as we dig deeper into this tragic story.
Looking back on it, it sure didn't turn out the way I thought it would. I mean, I thought I was being helpful just answering the reporter's questions. But I wasn't prepared, and the negative publicity continued as the reporter tried to sort out the contradictions between my account of the events and the information he received from our other employees. I mean, the reporters were just doing their job, and they were working with the information we gave them. I know now there's a right way and a wrong way to deal with the media. Now that I know more, I'll do a better job if we ever have another problem. But the first thing I'll do is make sure that our show has a public relations policy. That policy clearly identifies one person as the spokesperson for the company, and it explains to the other employees what they should do if approached by the news media.
Sir, Action News here. Can you tell us what happened?
I'm not a spokesman for our company, but I can direct you to...
I heard that a pin broke on one of these rides. Can you confirm that?
I'm not a spokesman for our company, but I can direct you to our show owner's business trailer.
A public relations policy means that your amusement business will speak with one voice. Next, know how the news media collects information for a story. Make sure your management and spokesperson understand how the media works and how you can help them in a positive way. Be prepared. Have a crisis management plan that clearly spells out responsibility in times of a crisis. And take control of the situation rather than having it take control of you. Just following these simple steps would have resulted in fair and balanced coverage of this incident.
Sir, Action News here. Can you tell us what happened?
I'm not a spokesperson for our company. Our spokesperson will be here in a moment, and he'll be able to answer all your questions.
But, sir, can't you help us?
Excuse me. Hello, I'm Joe Smith.
Can you tell us what happened?
We don't have all the information, but let me tell you what we know right now. We had an incident with the whirling ride. A car came loose and injured several patrons. But emergency vehicles were immediately called to the scene, and the injured were taken to the hospital.
Do you know what caused this accident?
At this time, we're working with local officials, state inspectors, and we've engaged ride safety experts to look into the incident.
Isn't the only likely cause a mechanical failure?
We will have the experts look at every aspect of this incident and try to determine the cause of the problem.
But aren't these rides inherently unsafe?
That's not the case at all, but before we jump to any conclusions, let's allow the experts to find out what happened. I have no more to say at this time, but I will contact the media again when we have more information. Thank you very much.
Several people were injured today when a car came loose from a whirling ride. Company officials say they don't know what caused the accident, but they promise to cooperate with the investigation.
We will allow the experts to look at every aspect of the incident and try to determine the problem.
And a spokesman denied charges by a local attorney that these rides are inherently unsafe.
That's not the case at all, but before we jump to any conclusions, let's allow the experts to find out what happened.
Good job. In this case, you've told the public how you will deal with a serious situation without admitting liability or engaging in a controversy. But how do you deal with the issue of ride safety? You don't want to brag about the safety of your rides while the public watches pictures of people being treated by paramedics and carried to ambulances. The best way to handle this situation is to provide reporters with written statistics on ride safety. The OABA can help you with the latest national amusement ride safety information. Watch what happens when our spokesperson uses this strategy.
Here's some general background material for our show and our industry's ride safety record.
Thanks. Okay, let's wrap this up and do the stand-up. Investigators say it may take several weeks to determine the cause of this accident. They say that accidents like this are very unusual. According to industry statistics, fewer injuries occur on rides than playing soccer, skiing, or riding a bicycle. Lisa Martindale, Action News.
Here are a few more important things to keep in mind when dealing with the news media. Never say no comment. It looks as if you have something to hide. If you can't answer a question, explain why. And don't be afraid to say you don't have the information or you don't know the answer. Don't speculate or guess. Once misinformation is disseminated, it is impossible to correct it later, and it could be used against you in a lawsuit. Stick to the facts you know. Don't be afraid to say the situation is still under investigation. Never try to go off the record. A reporter's job is to gather information. If you say it, be prepared to read it in tomorrow's paper or see it on the evening news. And don't try to change the subject.
I would like to point out that hundreds of other people have visited our other rides and have had a real good time.
How would that make you feel if a member of your family was injured? And finally, build a good relationship with the news media before there is a problem. Invite the press to witness ride inspections. And do yourself a favor, request a copy of the OABA's press kit.
Listen, I heard these rides are really dangerous, and nobody ever inspects them.
No, we did a story out here last year on ride safety. Many accidents are caused by patrons who don't follow the safety rules. And these rides are inspected every day. I mean, the owners have quite an investment in them. Also, the states have annual inspections, so when the show moves from state to state, the rides are inspected in each new state. Oh, and that's not all. Some insurance companies conduct inspections.
So that's it, some good basic rules for dealing with the news media. It's not rocket science, just good common sense. And if you need additional assistance, remember that as a member of the OABA, we're always here to help. Thanks for watching.